Okay, so we are moving right along here. At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Patrick Simon to introduce himself and to share the presentation that he would like to share.
Again, I am a retired educator who worked in Citrus County School District for over 35 years and saw some dramatic shifts that occurred that upon retirement prompted an interest to do something to help students as they plan their pathways from high school to life after high school. That was 2016. And now I'm grateful I'm here today because Dr. Rios was one of the folks that our organization reached out to because we weren't sure on how to help the increased number of homeless McKinney-Vento students that were identified in the 3 high schools that are located, public high schools in Citrus County. They graduate around 1,100 students every year. We there formed an organization. It's called the Citrus County Coalition for College and Careers. One of our partners, Rebecca York Elkhorn, and board members, as well as representing the College of Central Florida, has helped us since then in our efforts to increase students' planning. And one of the things we realized was that it wasn't as much the research, the study, the secondary support, but we primarily believe that what is needed now are boots on the ground that have face-to-face meetings with students to help and support them in efforts to plan their life after high school. Our organization really is focused on the most at-risk students. However, we help all students. So in this discussion, I want to offer to you kind of like guiding questions that define and describe who we are and what we do. So I would say it would be what or who. Who are we? What are we? So what caused this to happen? And now what? The what, so what, now what are we doing to help make changes in the lives of our youth in Citrus County? Citrus County is about an hour north of Tampa. It has a population of around 150,000. It is identified as the oldest average age county in the state of Florida. I would say, and I guess I'm adding to that old age average, I would define our county as bimodal. We have a very affluent retired community, and we also have a very large identified family and youth that are at poverty level. And I have watched as an educator arriving here in 1981, where we had 28 to 30% of our students on free and reduced lunch now. And now at this time, we are over 80% of students on free and reduced lunch. And that really nutshells why we exist, because we found that students were not moving forward in their plans, and it appeared to be more economic reasons than ability or other limitations. So why are we doing this? We have a board of directors. I think it started as a result of being a teacher, a high school principal, an administrator, and a director of research in Citrus County School District, and realizing the shift, that shift from 67% to now 30% of students going to college. So again, in 2000, 67% of students went off to colleges, community colleges at that time, state colleges, universities, military schools, and now it's 30%. So we, in the high school, guidance counselors and school administrators said they could not do it alone. So we are a team of 100% volunteers. We have no paid staff. We have no paid structure. Our budget is in place to support financially students. I will say to you, since our origin in 2019, we have awarded over $125,000 in scholarships to students. This year, most recently, we were awarded $65,000 to about 82 students in Citrus County, scholarships ranging from $4,000 to $500. Part of our reason for existing was based on a partnership in the school district as an administrator, district level administrator we had with the Gates Foundation.
Hold on, Patrick, I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you sharing a screen?
No, not yet, but I will in a moment.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So the National Student Clearinghouse and Harvard University and the Gates Foundation did a project to look at data that supported tracking students' patterns of learning, course of study, grade point averages, ACT, SAT scores, and what happened from middle school, high school to college. And that's where we start. And that was started in 2006, 2007, continued for about 6 years. And that's where we noticed the beginning of the drop of students in their plans to pursue post-secondary learning. We also noticed patterns of economics being a factor that influenced what happened to students. The students with the lower income had the least number of applications and the lower persistence at the post-secondary level. So what does that mean for us now? Right now, we have volunteers that go every week into all 3 schools. We meet this year, for example, over 550 individual students, face-to-face meetings, and oftentimes they were multiple meetings, multiple times throughout the year. We keep data. We keep data in a shared Excel, Google document that school staff, counselors have access to. We've met with over 1,600 sessions with students during the 21-22 school year to help them with the following: college applications, FAFSA applications, financial aid, scholarships, grants, housing, ACT, SAT, test prep, ASVAB. So in my sharing now, if I can do this. Let's see. Hold on a second. Steve, it is not letting me share on the iPad. I'm going to try it one more time.
Okay, let me make you host on the iPad. I'm sorry, I had made you host on the other one.
Well, the other option is I sent you the link to our website. If you wanted to just pull that up, that's exactly it. Our website was designed to support students in their efforts to plan, and families to plan life after high school. I would be remiss if I did not point out a partner of ours, and I see her on the call today, Kathy McDonald, and the Florida College Access Network. Without her, we would not have the tools, the resources, the knowledge and support to do what we're doing. Our website, you see there, has segments that assist students and families on the steps to plan to college, step by step. The irony was the webmaster who we contracted with, who lives in Kodiak, Alaska, happened to be a graduate of the high school where I served as principal in Citrus County. The world doesn't get any smaller. So these steps show links to resources, including virtual tours of state colleges, universities, applications, FAFSA videos, college application links, forms for students. Again, as Steve scrolls down there, thank you. We have tools for practicing testing, ACT, SAT, as well as ASVAB. Military is one of the areas. As we heard the conversation earlier about college essays, letters, resumes, that becomes a focus of support we offer to students. And all of this, by the way, we train our volunteers. All we ask is a volunteer have the ability to relate to and communicate with a young adult at the high school level. The costs, the processes, the communications, I will tell you, our students who come from the underrepresented groups have the least amount of support and the greatest need. And once we get them started, we discover that they move rapidly to the process of applying and entering into college and universities. On the call today, I see 2 folks we've reached out to, Dr. B at Santa Fe and Dr. Blake at St. Pete College, who have been incredibly helpful in those students who have no parental support, do everything on their own, and they have been persistent and don't give up. And that gives us the reassurance to continue to do what we do. On our website, finally, Steve, if you could jump over to where it says local scholarships at the top tab. Our organization hosts all of the, under local scholarships, all of the local scholarships that are provided. If you scroll down, you see they're archived for this, from this past year. A little bit lower on the page, they're not there anymore. We provide all, there we go, all of the scholarships to all of the schools. It used to be such a way where students had to go to their guidance office, and think about this during COVID when schools weren't open. They had to go and get a document printed, fill out the form, or retype it and submit the scholarship. And so what we did is we hired students who created and transformed these printed documents into online, accessible to handicapped students, and enable them to complete the scholarship on the website, and then submit it to the organization agency who's offering the scholarship. So that, we felt that was a critical need, and it was not a challenging thing to do. It took us maybe a half a year to get all of those done. There are over 150 scholarships, close to $1.5 million offered by different groups, agencies, civic organizations in Citrus County, as Steve scrolls down there. So with that, I close with the following. I would say if there are any communities that would be interested, I don't think it's that difficult to start a volunteer organization that meets with students. I would say key group of support would be retired educators, retired professionals in the area, retired community members who just want to be involved with creating a hope for tomorrow. I think it's important to have data that says there's a need, and that there are support by partners. Again, I thank Rebecca York Alcorn, the College of Central Florida is a key partner. The Citrus County School District, the superintendent, Sandra Sam Himmel, key partner, and all the high schools and the staff leadership team at those high schools, our civic organizations, Kiwanis, Rotary, YMCA, key partner, and of course, a solid keystone partner is our Florida College Access Network. We do not have fundraising efforts. We are fortunate to have in this bimodal community to have a group of patrons who see their job as providing all the funds we need to support the students who have needs. We have never ever had a request that's been turned down, whether it was $50,000 or $500. We offer every year Summer Rise at the College of Central Florida, where a two-day event where we prepare students, launch them into the planning of pathways for their senior year. We then follow up by meeting with all those students who attended, as well as every other student who has interest, want, support needed to plan for life after high school. I finally would tell you that in order to do this, there has to be a plan in place, what it is, what is your mission, who do you want to serve, how do you want to serve them, and finally, I would say, as a former director of research accountability, to maintain data and share that data with the rest, all of us who are working to help students to know what works and what doesn't work. Steve, that was longer than I had wanted, but again, I thank you for the opportunity and be happy to answer questions. And again, even if those may be emailed and respond.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Simon. I really appreciate that. To have someone from your background with your passion in the group in your community is fantastic. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? If you do and don't have a chance now, please send them to us. Any questions with us? Adios. Join us next month for the Positive Pathways Monthly Call. I'm Dr. Steve Rios. Adios.